Retiring early is every American's dream, but in order to achieve that dream, hard work has to be put in. Many Americans that manage to retire early end up having to go back to work because the money they made did not last them. The main thing that contributes to retirement is how much we get paid. With our federal minimum wage only being $7.25, this dream seems nearly impossible. What I'll be going over today is 1. How Americans are living with the current minimum wage, 2. Why we need to increase the minimum wage, and 3. How raising the minimum wage will not affect businesses nor the economy. As a full-time employee who makes more than the minimum wage and has no dependents, I'm also struggling to make my monthly payments. I can only imagine the struggle of those that actually make the minimum wage and have their own families to feed. The New York Times newspaper published on February the 28th of 2018 a story about Emily Bartola, a Disneyland employee who lives in her car and who has to wake up early every day to shower at the park before it opens because she does not make enough money to pay for rent. No one should have to struggle to survive just because they're not making enough money. According to the New York Times newspaper, published on July the 18th of 2019, a full-time employee earning the minimum wage earns about $15,000 a year. That is below the poverty line of a single parent. It is also less than the amount needed to pay for rent. There are many more Americans that are struggling to support themselves with the current pay rate. Over the years, the cost of living has been constantly increasing. However, the minimum wage has stayed the same. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, accessed on December the 7th of 2019, the 2007 amendment increased the minimum wage a total of 3 times, the last time being on July the 24th of 2009. That has been over 10 years. We need to increase the minimum wage because living paycheck to paycheck is not a way of life. The people will have to be paid enough so that they can afford rent and also afford to buy their daily necessities. Increasing the minimum wage will also positively impact businesses. Many employers experience lower turnover rates, so businesses will not have to struggle to get employees to stay and work, nor will they have to cut employees. The Los Angeles Times newspaper, published on January the 7th of 2018 by David Dayen, states that the wage increase to $13 an hour in Seattle in 2016 had no impact on employment. Generally, those that make more money tend to spend more money. That is something all businesses want. With the increased spending, the economy will also get a boost as well. According to the Gale and Contact's Opposing Viewpoint website, last updated in 2019, increasing the minimum wage will increase people's spending, which will make the economy grow and reverse negative effects of wage increases. What we can do on our part to increase the minimum wage is by voting. By voting, we can put the right people into place to make this important change. If we do nothing, the minimum rate will stay the same and more Americans will fall into poverty. This isn't something one person can do. We have to work together as a whole so that we can impact and push for this increase. I have relayed why raising the minimum wage is important for the future of our country. We cannot continue to struggle to survive. The people need the minimum wage to increase so that there are no longer Emilys living in their cars, and so that they can afford to have a place to stay. Getting people out of poverty is not the only benefit. Businesses and the economy will also benefit from this increase. So voting is our only solution. It allows us to get the right people into Congress, those that will and want to improve our country. So please remember to go out and vote so that we can all enjoy a nice retirement relaxing on the beach.